No, on a technical basis, we're basically free. I mean, we're high enough in the silver price for it to have very little upside resistance and be able to just move some more. And it hasn't started yet, and that's got me scratching my head somewhat. I again think it will take place, and it may come out of the blue. Maybe waiting for the tariff thing to, assert what's the real truth. If you're a Canadian company and you mine in Mexico, the silver comes across the border, is it, tax it or tariffed at 25%? Probably. I don't know, but no one knows for sure. That's the problem. We really haven't had a great definition. And then, they put the tariff on and then they take it off. So again, quite wishy-washy at this point.
Silver investors have been envying gold's multi-year rally, with many asking when silver prices will finally catch up and outperform gold as they have in previous bull markets. The gray metal is now gaining some buzz of its own as a growing number of ex-users rally around the idea of manufacturing a silver squeeze on Monday, March 31st. The community's call to arms is based on the belief that silver prices are being artificially manipulated through the futures market, keeping them low even as many of the traditional drivers, rising inflation, increasing physical demand, supply deficits, and skyrocketing gold prices, have aligned to support higher silver prices. Widely recognized analyst DavidMorgan notes that retail demand for gold and silver is weak, while wholesalers sell gold at minimal premiums for liquidity. He acknowledges the initial impact of the silver squeeze but doubts the current push will significantly move the market. Morgan notes that silver faces little technical resistance and has room to climb, though the rally hasn't begun yet. Silver and gold will dominate the commodity markets in 2025 and deliver double-digit returns this year. However, silver has edged gold on Wednesday, generating slightly better returns than its counterpart. From a technical view, Morgan notes that retail investors are either selling back metals or holding off due to price uncertainty. Many hesitate to buy silver at current levels, while central banks, especially Russia, keep accumulating gold and silver as strategic assets. Nervous investors piling into the safe haven of gold jewelry in uncertain times helped boost retail sales last month, according to the latest official figures. Retail sales volumes rose by a better-than-expected 1% in February, following a surge of 1.4% in January, according to the Office for National Statistics, ONS. While reflecting on market potential, Morgan finds it unusual for precious metals to rise without strong retail demand, but expects buyers to return. Now, we present the clips of DavidMorgan's insights from his recent interview. Before we continue to discuss this, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates.
The retail market's really very, very almost dead at this point for both gold and silver, particularly silver. I talked to talking to one major dealer, wholesaler doesn't mean that I've talked to them all, but I've talked to a few. And gold, for example, at the wholesale, I mean, I Kruger ran for like $5 or $10 over spot. I mean, it's ridiculously cheap, just because they rather get the cash and not have to carry the loan that they're required to get from the bank to carry the inventory. Anyway, back on point, Elijah. I think silver squeeze 1.0 was pretty successful. It moved the market, started making a lot of ripples in the market. A lot of people on X were talking about it. And then Roth and Benham came out and said, you need to tamp down the silver market, and then things kind of subsided. This time, my take, Monday will tell, I don't think there's going to be much to it. Could be, might be surprised, but a lot of retail is either selling back or sitting on their hands. They either think that, $34 silver is too expensive, or they bought it at 25 with a high premium, a year or two ago, and now they're seeing, well, okay, I got a $4 profit. I don't think it's going any higher. I'm going to sell, whatever. Can't read everyone's minds, but I know what the market's doing. Very little on the retail side. On the other hand, banks just keep buying, gold particularly. Even Russia announced a couple months ago, they're buying silver for a strategic asset. I don't think they use that word, but they're buying the other metals. They're buying platinum, palladium, and silver. So there is a market for it. And it's unusual to see, strength in these metals prices without retail participation. And what usually happens is that there's my moment. Oh my, look, gold's really going. I don't have any. I'm going to have to buy some. Or I sold the house. I don't know where to put the money. I'll buy gold, or that type of thing. So I think we will see a re-entry into the markets, the precious metals markets, via the retail side. But I think it's going to take some type of shift in thinking. I think the people that are in it are more or less burnt out or just holding on to their gains, waiting to see how high it'll go. And we need a new input into the market, which I just outlined here will be. Because a lot of these stock investors that made big profits or are starting to lose now got in late and say, you know what, the gold keeps moving up. They're going to go, well, you know what? I know what's moving up. Gold is. So it will come back. I just don't know. No, on a technical basis, we're basically free. I mean, we're high enough in the silver price for it to have very little upside resistance and be able to just move some more. And it hasn't started yet. And that's got me scratching my head somewhat. I again think it will take place, and it may come out of the blue, maybe waiting for the tariff thing to, assert what's the real truth. If you're a Canadian company, you mine in Mexico, the silver comes across the border, is it, tax it or tariffed at 25%? Probably. I don't know, but no one knows for sure. That's the problem. We really haven't had a great definition. And then, they put the tariff on and then they take it off. So again, quite wishy-washy at this point.
According to DavidMorgan, a major capital shift from equities to commodities, especially gold, is beginning. He highlights central banks' aggressive gold accumulation as an early signal of this transition. As stocks weaken, he expects more investors to turn to gold, driving the bull market's final and potentially explosive phase. According to data from the World Gold Council, central banks have bought over 1,000 tons of gold annually since 2022, double what they acquired annually 10 years ago. This trend is expected to persist, keeping gold prices on an upward trajectory in the near to long term. The combination of geopolitical tensions and central banks diversifying away from U.S. treasuries are key drivers. One risk for gold prices is that a Russia-Ukraine peace agreement would trigger speculative selling. But the Goldman team doesn't expect that to have a lasting impact on either demand or supply. Moreover, Morgan expects retail investors to return to the gold market once they grow frustrated with stock market losses or seek better performing assets. He notes that gold's repeated all-time highs in mainstream news will gradually attract new investors. Let's get back to the interview.
I put out an update for the premium service, our paid subscribers, and it was a view of gold as the constant, and what it showed was the S&P 500, and it showed the stock market by that metric, the S&P 500, peaking around the year 2000, and it was a massive head and shoulders formation over a couple decade and a half or so. And what it indicated to me is that the asset allocation is starting to shift. Mike Maloney refers to it as wealth cycles. If you timed it, you wouldn't have to time it perfectly, but it takes timing where you sell your gold. Let's say in 1980, you sell your gold at the top where the gold Dow ratio was 1-to-1. You invest all that money in the stock market and you ride the stock market from that 850, 873, whatever was low, all the way up to, X. And then at that point, you sell your stocks and you buy gold and you ride it, or you can use real estate or whatever. So the point I'm making is when there's a massive reallocation of capital where most of it's invested in equities and that moves into, let's say, commodities, that shift usually is years in length. And I think that we may be starting. Remember, I think I'm sure I said it on your show, Liberty and Finance, probably, I'm going to guess maybe as far as 2 years ago. And I said the run to gold had started. And what I meant was in those markets, and there's a curve that's theoretical and also empirical, but it's the idealized curve, I should say. It shows like how markets operate. And there's a stealth phase where the early money comes in and accumulates, doesn't really move the price. No one's interested in that particular market. And then once the accumulation phase is over, it starts to be marked up. And that's where maybe some more smart money comes in. So the point I'm making is that central banks have been buying gold like crazy over the last couple of years. And now most people that are involved in the gold and silver markets are aware of that. And now this markup is starting to happen. And at the same time, where I'm forecasting, you're going to see a rollover in the equity markets. And that will force some people And some people will be ahead of the curve, moving out of that element into commodities, with the money metals being the lead, or at least gold being the lead. So that's how I see it. That's the big picture. That's the one to pay attention to, because if I'm correct, then this last phase of the gold market, which we entered once we broke around 3,000 or so, could have, a few years left, and it could be very dramatic. Usually the last leg up of any market, real estate, stock market, commodities, is the biggest gain percentage-wise, usually in a short amount of time, relatively short amount of time. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a signal, and the retail will come back. It's just when. And I think it's what I said earlier, when if they get tired of losses in the stock market, or maybe, I'm starting to lose some of my gains, I think I'm going to shift. People look for what's moving. And the gold market's really gotten a lot of news in the mainstream press over the last few months. New high, new high, new high. And so this will start to creep into the consciousness of the average investor that's never thought about gold before. And they will come into the market.
Silver is under strong buying pressure, nearing key resistance but poised for long-term gains. Gold and silver could lead the sector, generating steady returns this year. The commodity markets are gaining the most in 2025, leaving the global stock market behind. With central banks continuing to buy gold aggressively and silver showing signs of breaking out, will retail investors recognize this shift in time to capitalize on the next leg of the bull market? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to support our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the following video.